Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I would like to read on Puerto Rico because Ricardo Rosello is getting a lot of trouble. We've got people protesting in the streets over corruption, and they want him out. And for some reason, he's not stepping down. I think it's like day 3 of these protests, and he's not stepping down, maybe even longer. So what in the world? I want to read on Puerto Rico too because I've been meaning to. I want to know when they get statehood because they really need it. You know, I just don't understand. I've never understood this. I remember even back in grade school, I remember being confused. You know, why are there territories that don't have representatives like Congress people? You know, why is that? And then later, you know, as I'm studying more history, I'm realizing one of the rallying cries for the Revolutionary War was no more taxation without representation. I mean, that was a major issue for the colonists, that England was taxing them and taking their money, but they had no representatives in the government over there. So they just really, so it never has made any sense to me. And I do see Puerto Rico disadvantaged because of this. So I want to know, first of all, about Rosello. So is he going to be out? Let's do present and future. Well, he's certainly overburdened. We have the Ten of Wands. Most certainly. We have the King of Wands. Okay, he's sort of thinking he's going to hang on to his purpose, but we have the 6 of Cups. Everybody's looking backwards. This is nostalgia. Everybody's looking backwards and looking at his history. And some things are coming to light that it's not that they weren't known anymore before, but now they're coming to light and people are talking about them, looking at them from the angle of the corruption they've already seen with him. So this is not good for him. His history is being re-examined. What about future? 4 of Swords, he retreats. So he is sort of retreating. He is hesitant to speak publicly, hesitant to go out. The Hierophant, government's working. Okay, that's usually a good card in this kind of situation, Temperance. So gradually, I think gradually he leaves. I think gradually it becomes like there's an investigation that happened, or there are some other governmental officials that end up holding him accountable in some way. I think some legal action is taken. There is something like that. And I don't think he can hang on. He can't hang on to his position. Let's look out a little bit further. 5 of Swords, cutting away, victory. Victory, but cutting away. But so what kind of victory is that for him? 7 of Coins, not enough. Security, dissatisfaction, that's dissatisfaction. Page of Swords. Yeah. I think that he leaves. I think he goes. I think he makes a comment or a speech or there's something, and he goes. He gets while the getting's good. That's the phrase that comes to me. So somehow this victory card, strength. See, he does have strength though. What in the world? They can't like get him on anything, maybe. Maybe he just resigns. New beginning. But there's dissatisfaction. Then there's the new beginning with the Fool. Yeah, I think he goes. And there's the new beginning with the Page of Swords. Okay. I think he goes. Exactly. How that happens, I feel like other people hold him accountable, take some actions. I don't feel like it's that far out though. So that's what's puzzling me a little bit here as I look at these cards. Maybe that's the new person coming in with a victory. because I feel like it's not that far out. But this card does say gradually, so probably not tomorrow. 5 of Wands is a lot of political debate usually. You know, these are people who have some relationship with each other, sparring. So it's political debate on the law. Has he violated the law? What proof do we have? What procedures should we take? Is this worthy of taking the next step to getting him out? That kind of thing. He has a lot of worry as he retreats. He's just watching it. And then we have the Lover's card. Because he is in bed with some people, so it takes a while. Okay. Other people's political futures are tied with his. And that's why it takes a while. Okay, so I do think he's out, though. And I think there's a new beginning. I like these cards for Puerto Rico because they're suggesting to me that that time of truth-telling, truth coming out with that Wheel of Fortune is coming to them, too. So I really do like those cards. Yeah, and the new beginning. These are 2 major arcana. Oh, 3 that you like to see come together. Okay, so let us see about Puerto Rico. I think things are going to be better. I feel like the Puerto Ricans are taking matters into their own hands. They're just saying, okay, we are fighting. We are fighting. They're much more knowledgeable. And this is born of necessity with what they went through in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. This is born of necessity. They have a new sense that they can't count on the American government to give them a fair representation, to give them fair protection. So they have a new sense of that. So they're not. There has been an urgency building then ever since Hurricane Maria, and it's born of tragedy. There's nothing that will fire people up more than they all have a personal story, or they know someone very close to them who has a personal story of loss. Serious loss, maybe loss of life related to the hurricane and you know, Trump's refusal to send them adequate money and resources. So they are in a new place and fired up. So what about statehood for them? How does that look in the future, Spirit? Success, completion. They are going to get it. Death, the end of something else. This feeling disenfranchised. The 5 of Pentacles has come to be like this whoever is disenfranchised and shut out in the cold. The death of that. Okay, I think they get it. I think they get it. They get that representation just like every state has. I don't know if they call it a new state or not. I'm not sure about the label. Would it be the 51st state? I feel excited when I say that. I feel excited when I say that. I mean, isn't that a wonderful thing? So anyway, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, and then I realized the states that already are, the governments of the states that already are may not feel like it's a great thing because they have to share their decision-making power, their legislative power with one other group of representatives and 2 other senators, you know, that kind of thing. So they may not think it's such a good thing, but I think it's a good thing. So it's only fair. The Wheel of Fortune. So the death of that cover. You know, I see this guy with the death. He's in a cloak. You can't see him. Things are covered up. I think this is more truth coming out. Success. Success. Oh my gosh, you guys. 2 world cards. They're going to do well. All right. What about this one? Page of Cups. Little bit of good news. It starts with a little bit of good news. And 10 of Coins. Oh, their financial futures change too. There is something. I feel like Puerto Rico, even though now it's going through an economic difficulties in the aftermath of the hurricane, there's something, I've seen this for Puerto Rico, where for some reason, the land values at some point just keep going up and up. I think with some legislative change, and if they have more political power, that opens up all kinds of new doors for them. Wow, okay, they become a more desirable place to live for a lot of people, and real estate prices do go up. By rights, they should be one of the wealthiest states, right? Is Hawaii wealthy? I mean, they have so much wonderful, it's so much beauty there and tourism dollars. That makes Hawaii a bit more wealthy, doesn't it? So, see, Puerto Rico should be the same. Just by virtue of the natural resources that they have and the tourism draw. I think, and I felt this, that it's going to be a very good place to own property in the future. But in any case, that's financially. It all starts, I think, with the legislative changes. And the legislative changes are all beginning with the people who are fired up and informed. So that is good. And I do believe we are heading to a time when more Democrats are more numerous in the Senate and continuing in the House. So that will also change. We'll be surprised at what can get done in the coming years that could not get done for a long time. You know, I think that will also happen. So that will aid this process. I think there's reason to be hopeful for Puerto Ricans, but it's because of them. It's because of them. It's, you know, nobody's giving it to them. You know, they're fighting for it. So, and they're going to win it if they keep fighting. And I feel like they will. So there we go. I love that reading. Well, thank you very much. One of my patrons requested this reading, and I always have Puerto Rico in the back of my mind, like I wanted to check in. So thank you so very much. Bye-bye.